KILR Killer Games.
Hello gamers, simmers, and pilots who may find my series interesting by now. If not, maybe later. I am the Killer Gamer, and welcome to the World Tour featuring Flight Simulator 2 for the Commodore 64. Might be wondering, hey, how come you haven't done any videos with the older simulators? Meaning like Flight Simulator 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Well, I've had a little bit of trouble trying to get those to work, at least work correctly. And I think some of them you can't really do a world tour because they don't have a scenery discs. One of them does, I think, like number 4 does, I think, but I don't know. I will look into it because I've mentioned in the last episode that these old simulators need love, so I do want to take a look at those, but right now, I'm just going back to the Commodore 64 because it was the first simulator that I started off with. So, all right, so we are here with at Chicago Midway, and we are going to go to Joliet, but we're going to attempt a touch and go at Meigs Airport, and then head to Joliet after that. So, first of all, you'll notice that there is cloud cover, and I want to show you why. So, I went ahead. I forgot to do this the last time. Chicago seems to be having a lot of clouds lately. Okay, so they have an overcast there. And I went ahead and I put this in here. You can't put in temperature, but I did put in bottoms and tops, and I put in surface winds. You can put in different altitudes as well, but I wonder if I should. I didn't put an altitude here, so I probably won't even know what to do. Here, we'll put 630. Wait a minute, is it 660? I think it's 660. 619. Okay, 6. We'll say 620. 620, not 30. Okay. So where am I getting this information from? All right. Well, I'm getting it from this site here. It is the Aviation Weather Center. This is aviationweather.gov. And you can type in the ID here, and you can read it raw if you want to, or you can click on decode it, which is what I do, and you can see here I put in 11 knots, 30 degrees, and then 1,400 feet above ground level. So I took what the actual altitude is and add it 1400. Otherwise, I might be like going in the fog or something. So 2,000 feet, and then I just added an extra 1,000 above that, just for good measure. And that's it. That's pretty much just what I put in there for the simulator. So I thought this thing froze for a moment. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about where we're going to go. Just show you on the map. We already talked about it, but all right. So Chicago Meads, Midway starts with an M. We are going to Meigs. We're going to do a touch and go. So we usually always take off this direction. So what I like to do is come around this way and do a touch and go going south. So I think if we take the VOR, and I'd say take what? Oh, this is not bad. What, 11, 10? The 100 radial from here, and then Chicago Heights, maybe 355. That should give us an intersection right about here, and then just go due south. That should line us up pretty close, and then we can set down and then full throttle take off and make our way to Joliet Park. Probably the easiest thing to do. Is probably just automatically set our Joliet VOR radio, just so we can start heading off in this direction, so we're already going in that direction. And then while we're in flight, then we'll go ahead and we'll set this radio and this radio. I don't know. No, maybe not this one. We'll set this one, and maybe this one here. Try to come up with a... No? Wait. Sorry, I'm trying to figure this out. Yeah, we'll keep it tuned into this one and then set this one here. And then we should have an intersection right about here, and then we can come south. Yeah, that's what we'll do. You got to really plan these things out on the old one. All right. Now we need to know which runway we're going to be taking off at. And it could be turning night here pretty soon. What happened to the time? Hold on. I thought that was 7. We're going to fix that. I think my cat is playing. Okay. Okay, well, it's night now. Okay, so our we'll just say it's night. Our lights are off. We'll turn them on. Yay! Okay, so this should synchronize with the other simulators, so that way we can see stuff at night. I don't know if we're going to see the buildings, if they're going to be lit up or not. Sears Tower, well, it's black, so I don't think we're going to see that. Let's tune into ATIS. which is 128.05. Whoops. Okay. So we're still departing at runway 4. Well, based off of the last episode, we'll know which one the runway is now. Not only because it had a center line, but with it being nighttime, like I said, the runway will be outlined in white as opposed to blue. All right, so let's get started here. We'll get this all nice and warmed up. See, our oil is cold. Let's take a look. We might want to use our carb heat here. Let's see, what is our instructions for carb heat? Carb heat. Oh, Control I. I is for ice. That's how we remember that. So let's see, Control ice. That's on hot. Heat. There we go. Our oil is going up there. Oh boy. Oh. Well, let's see. I think our altimeter is set. This looks like it's pretty much set. Our carburetor heat, well, we'll go ahead and we'll just start moving. Let's go ahead and turn on our map here. Try to get an idea. Oh, I think we found our runway. I think this is it right here. So we don't have far to go. Well, that works. So we don't have to go to map view to drive around. We can find our way very easily now. Went off the runway here, or well, the taxiway. There's our runway. See how much easier this is to see? Get lined up. Kind of lined up here. That should do it. All right. Flaps are up. Trim looks to be set. We need to set our nav radios. Haven't done that yet. radio. Okay, Chicago O'Hare radio. There it is, 1.3. 3.9. And let's see, Chicago Heights was 114.2. There we go. And our VOR radio, we want it 100. That's what we were saying. And then Chicago Heights, we were saying 355. Well, 354. It's only going to do even numbers. And we are ready to go. Merrill C. Meigs is 592, so we don't want to be too high in elevation. We are not that far away from it. Oh, and from Chicago Midway, we're going to want to, I would say, probably head out. We'll bring out the map again. I'd say we're going to want to go off in this direction. So, well, we're heading radio 040. We're going to want to probably fine tune that to maybe not 360, maybe 1. If we catch it at 010, come out this way, and then catch the 10, turn, catch this one, and then come south. That should do it. That should do it. Meanwhile, I think our ICER, is pretty good. Meanwhile, back in 1984, I will check my smartphone, because I just got a message. Huh. All right, we are set to go. We can turn our ICER off. I think I ran off the runway. I was trying to gently come off the runway, but it did not want to do that. Alright, let's get ourselves turned here. ourselves up. Even out, even out, even out. Try not to freaking crash. Ah! Or stall. Which I'm about to do. Zero, zero, zero. Oh my word. Up. Not down. It's that trim. It's not... I'm setting it to go up. It's like not taking me up. See, that's another. I mean, I think you could play this with a joystick. Oh my goodness! Now it's going out of control. But it was so hard. I mean, you needed the keyboard to make just fine-tune adjustments. That's why I would play with the keyboard. Okay, something else that I've done is I've set the reliability factor to 95%. For the most part, we shouldn't have a problem with the plane, but there's a 5% chance that something on the plane will break. I used to play it that way because I liked how something would break on the plane and I would have to land at an airport to get it fixed. Made it interesting. And you know, they don't have that in the modern simulators. You can set it up for like specific things to randomly fail. Or you can set it up to randomly fail within a certain time period, but not really a percentage. Something tells me that this is the coastline, because look at this. This is beginning to change. I need to figure out what my views were again. Five. Okay. So to do my views, I have to hit the 5 key. And then, like, oh, okay, it's moving. Whoops. We need to turn. We need to turn. Let's get ourselves turned. We better get our flaps down too. We better slow down. Where's the airport? I think it's got to be this white thing out here in the middle of nowhere. This has got to be the ocean. There's a red dot. You see that red dot? We'll slow down some more. Turn our throttle down. We got to be careful because we don't want to. Okay, we're going to need to come out here a little bit more. I think that is it loading. And there's something right there, which is making me wonder if there's an object we're about ready to hit. Doing a touch and go could be very difficult here. Landing at Meigs Airport was not easy, if I could remember correctly. I can only imagine trying to do a touch and go. Can't be all that easy either. Okay, we got full flaps down. We're off our radio, which let's start heading towards it. That's not the way. This is going to be very interesting. Okay, there's the Sears Tower. can see the airport. We're definitely off. There it is. Whoa, yep, I definitely see the runway. It is, we are off. Let's go this direction. Okay, we're headed. Use our radar. Now if we turn back around, we might have a better chance of lining up here. We have to actually line up and try not to so we can see it. We can see the runway. Come on. Come on. This is not going to be easy. We're not going to hit the runway, but we might land. Full power. Flaps up. Gotta get up before we splash. I think we did it. It was probably the worst touch and go in the history of touch and goes, but oh, whoa. Oh, okay. Now it's time to head on to Joliet. Oh, wow. We'll tune in to 112.3, find out which direction it is. Oh, no, that's right. I gotta keep my eye on the controls. We want... 18240. It's all dark. I think we went into the clouds. Yes, we did. Okay, that's okay. Nav radio 112. No, that was nav 2. Nav 1, 112.3. Okay. We want a radio of 240. We would be above the cloud level. You wouldn't be able to tell because it's just all black at this point. Oh, 240. Okay, so we need to... want to run by instruments. Here you go. Okay, based on instruments, we are about 500. Okay, we're aircraft. Oh, that's nice. You see, we had an aircraft problem. Now our vertical VSI has now disappeared. So we're gonna have a problem trying to figure out our speed. We're going to have to use this to determine our speed indicator. So one goes out, you have to rely on the others to... Okay, we know we're level. We're 31 miles away. It's going down. We know we're going to it. This is 2. We are more than this. We're on this side. So we're headed. We're headed there. We've got this tuned in, 112.3, just to show you. Right there, 112.3. So we're headed there, direction that we need to go. Now we need to set our due page so that way... Oh no, not due page. Or yes. Yeah. So we need to set it so that way we've got an intersection 1215. Oh. Yeah, this is gonna be hard because all this is blocking the way. 16? No. 165, I think, would be close. Oh, we are still going up. I want to try to level out here. This is going out of sync. Okay, so nav radio 108.4 for due page. 108.4. And our VOR radio 2 is, we were saying, crud, 17. That's right. All right, well, now let's just gently descend. Let's descend until we get below 2,000, so that way we can see where we're going. We got to make sure we keep an eye on this. Unfortunately, we do not have a repair facility at Joliet. Hopefully our lights don't break. If our lights break, we won't see anything. I kind of messed up. I was going into the, I thought if I went into the edit mode and I was going to change reliability to 100% to prevent something else from breaking, because when something else breaks, it could get to the point, especially if it's the wrong thing. Just had another aircraft problem. But what? Uh-oh. The oil. It's running too hot. We may have some problems here. Yeah, we're gonna have some problems. We're gonna set that back to 100%. Well, at least we can see again. Now we can't. When the aircraft breaks, this thing is unforgiving. There are many times that I had to land out in the middle of nowhere and then use SLU to get to an airport, so at least you've gotten an idea of what it's like when you do get an aircraft problem. It's neat a few times, especially when you go to, like, I've had it to where, like, several of these, like, would break, and then I'd get to an airport where I can get them all fixed, and then all come back up again. I'm like, yay! But when things like your altimeter break, and you don't know how high up you are, because you can't judge unless you're getting close to the airport. You can sort of judge, but oh yeah, it's, or you could land and, you know, drive your way there, but so what happened is something with the engine busted and the oil went all the way to hot. This thing went out, and obviously the throttle was having problems, and this thing was going to nosedive and crash. And I don't want to go through all that. We're getting about 16 miles away from the Vor. The airport is a little bit closer than that. We definitely want to get lower in altitude. Especially when we start seeing this thing start moving. I think once we start seeing this start to move, we'll bring down a thing of flaps, start slowing down. There's our airport. I'm pretty sure that's it. Yeah. Then again, that may not be it. That might be something else. That might be like Lewis University. We haven't even passed that one radio yet. We haven't even passed this yet. So, I don't know. I don't think that's it. are 10 miles away. Let's slow down. That might be Joliet Park. I think that's Joliet Park. I think we're right. I think that one was Lewis University, and I think this is Joliet Park. How bloody difficult this game was. I was like, yeah, this brings back memories. Very frustrating memories. I think I'm gonna start turning. Try to meet that DuPage radio that we're wanting to catch. I got a feeling that thing is going to change. That's it. That's gotta be it. I was trying to remember how where's that it? Unless this is Morris University. We're in here somewhere. Either the one that was in front of us is this, or it's this. I don't know. We're 5 miles away from it. From the Joliet. Did we pass it? Is it... No, it's not over there. This started to move. It's moving. Hey, what am I doing back at 240? I thought I changed this. Did I get blown off course or something? Oh no, that's right. I changed it because we were heading off at an angle. Alright, flaps. Another thing of flaps. You gotta slow down. Okay. If we start going in this direction and come at the airport at an angle, we should be able to get lined up a lot easier. Hopefully. Flaps down. Altitude is 582, which means we need to bring down our altitude a little bit more. Now these runways at night, they are just line. They're just a center line out at dark is all it is. Because of the black top, it just matches with the rest of the dark. Close are we? That's pretty close. Lined up. We are about to land, and I don't want to land just yet. On! There it is. I don't know if we're on the runway, but we're close. Oh, okay. Now a matter of truth. We're going to see if we're actually at the airport. So what we need to do, Joliet Park District, the coordinates should be 17038 16490. So 17038 16489. We are here. We are here at Joliet. Look at that. My goodness. It moves us off to the side whenever we do that. I guess that's our parking spot. I don't know. All right. Man, talk about a challenge. Something like that, I got to take a break. So, all right. Well, thanks for joining me. This looks like the longest Commodore 64 one I've done so far. But it's interesting. So we did a touch and go over at Meigs. Not quite on the runway, but at least we didn't hit the water. When you hit the water, it says splash. Instead of crash, it says splash. And I thought we were going to roll right off and hit the water, but we didn't. We got right up just on time. And I'll take it. All right. We didn't get on the runway, but at least we hit the island. At least we landed on the island and we got up just on time. I'll take it. And then we had a little bit of an aircraft problem. We fixed it mid-flight. We'll just say we fixed it mid-flight. We're that talented. And then had a little bit of a navigation, not a problem, but just a little bit of challenge. It's like you want to doubt your radios, but just trust your radios, trust your instruments. As long as you have them set correctly, trust them. And it'll get you to the airport you're supposed to get at. As you can see, we got the Joliet. So, very cool. All right. Well, thanks for joining me, and I will see you on the next leg of the flight. We're going to Kankakee next. All right. Thanks. If you enjoyed this flight and trip back in time, then you might enjoy some of these other videos I made of the same flight. This is just a small sample of the other simulators I'm also using for the World Tour, so you can check out how things compare there if you'd like. Or perhaps you have fond memories of one of them and just want to see more. There will be more flights, so remember to subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you around in the skies.